Must
I'm
have
gonna
fell
fuck
when it
with
dropped from him.
Here they come.
I'm keeping them in the middle here. Nah, they're in. Where you at? Okay. He's still out here.
They shielded the bomb off.
Fucker, dude.
He's picking.
One time. Oh man, I'm so scared.
Here they come.
Lethal out. Nervous, aren't ya?
You ain't got no time. You ain't got no time.
What is going on, everyone? Griffin here, coming at you with some Dallas gameplay, and today we're going to talk about would comp save Rogue Company. So let's head over and check it out. So there was a post a couple of days ago from the RCCS Twitter page. I'm going to throw it up on screen as soon as possible, but basically what it says is the average viewership per month in Rogue Company has cut in half since the RCCS was discontinued and is down to 317 average viewers. The content creator program has subsequently cut the requirements to become a creator in half as well. So there's a lot of information that is put into this tweet, and there's also a lot of speculation as well, as I would say. So yes, they have cut the requirements to be a streamer, content creator for Rogue Company in half, so that it allows more people to get into the creator program because the viewership of the game has declined, especially over on Twitch. But the speculation comes in when they said that it was because the RCCS was discontinued. So that leaves us the question, would comp save Rogue Company? Does the competitive environment of Rogue Company affect the viewership of the game itself? And I think this is a yes and no answer. I think that yes, you know, of course, having a comp in anything is going to bring more viewership because you're going to have more people interested in it. I really don't think that this idea of the RCCS not existing is what caused the dramatic viewership drop in Twitch specifically. I think that this is a combination of things. I think that this has to do with lack of promotion for the game. I think that this has to do with not bringing awareness to the game itself. I think that this has a lot to do with several different factors, and I don't think that the RCCS is the major factor in that. I mean, of course, you're going to have people that are going to be interested in comp, and they're going to want to see people play comp. And yes, the amount of streamers that was streaming the game that were part of the competitive scene has almost been cut down to zero at this point. I mean, literally cut down to zero. But I don't think that that has anything to do with the viewership. I mean, you have certain people that are going to stream, and they're going to stream whatever game it is, and people are going to show up and watch, right? That's just kind of the nature of streaming, especially when you build a following. But you also have a huge subset of people that only want to watch one particular person stream one particular game, specifically the game that they were streaming whenever they became somewhat popular in that field, right? And I think that there's a lot of games that are coming out right now that are bringing a lot of attention to some of these Rogue Company players, because you have Overwatch, you have Modern Warfare 2, you also have Shatterline and several other games that are currently still like in beta phases that are being produced, and people are going over to those games. Now, it's interesting that the RCCS players are not streaming some of these other games, that they just kind of cut their streaming career down to nothing at this particular moment, because I guess RCCS doesn't exist. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it is that crisis where, like, I pull viewership when I stream this one specific game. I feel as a competitive player that I don't get enough viewership whenever I stream anything other than Rogue Company, so I'm just not going to stream at all. That could be a situation there. And in that situation, it's one of those things where they could stream something, they could build a new following if they wanted to, they could retain the somewhat following that they had before, and they could continue to grow. So I'm not really sure exactly what the mentality for those people are exactly. But at the end of the day, I don't think RCCS has anything to do with the viewership being on such a decline. I think that the RCCS, whenever you're averaging like, and you're pulling during tournaments like 400 viewers split between two different streaming platforms, then you're not really being a successful tournament, especially whenever you're awarding $20,000 as total cash prizes to everybody that shows up, basically, and you're only netting about 400 players. So let's take that into consideration here. So if we're netting 400 players and the average viewers for Rogue Company on Twitch is 317, then you're at up to 717, right? That's not a lot still. That's not a lot still at all. And at the end of the day, the people that was responsible for the RCCS, even though it seems like Rogue Company decided that they wanted to get away from doing these tournaments, they could still put tournaments on. They could still continue with the RCCS, I'm sure. I have a feeling that if I really wanted to sit down and do something competitive in Rogue Company, that I could pull the RCCS name. I'm sure that there's not some weird legality associated with that. There may be, but at the end of the day, I think that if anyone contacted them, they could absolutely pull that name and say, hey, I want to do these self-sponsored tournaments, or these tournaments that are sponsored by other people, other individuals, other companies, and I want to do something that is very interesting and something that is very good for the viewership for Rogue Company. I just think that it's very funny that the idea and the thought process behind this specific tweet is, if the RCCS still existed, then the viewership, the average viewership for Rogue Company would be much higher. We don't know that. We don't know that for certain, right? Because it has been slowly declining even when the RCCS was a thing. You saw from the beginning of the year in January to where it currently is now, and there was RCCS events, qualifying matches, and also LAN events sprinkled all throughout this past year. And you've seen the viewership steadily declining over time. That's the reality of the situation. And I think that if they want to increase the viewership for the game, you don't really need to go through a comp, because there's people that are still trying to get comp stuff together right now. They need to look at better ways to market the game. They need to look at better ways to try to get more people into the game. And they've kind of done that more or less with the Walking Dead event. But the Walking Dead event was released in such a terrible state that the majority of those players that came in to pick up their favorite Walking Dead skins and to play with their favorite Walking Dead characters probably didn't stick around all that long. I think that the state of the game in turn is driving people away, which doesn't keep the retention of new players, which doesn't make it marketable at that point. You have to have the game in a good functioning state. You have to get rid of all these weird inconsistencies in the game that currently exist. You also have to give something that players actually want, that people that are not in the Rogue Company ecosystem, what they want to bring them into the game. You also have to do a better job at marketing the game, because how do you market Rogue Company? You can't market it as a tactical third-person shooter anymore, because it has drifted so far away from that. You can't market it as a arena-based shooter, because there are some tactical elements. So how do you market a game like this? I think that this problem with the declining viewership lies solely on the fact that there's not enough promotion for the game. The game is not in a good enough state to be able to promote it properly, in my opinion. Because, like, if I came into the game right now during the Formal Affair update and also the Walking Dead update and saw just the huge amount of issues that's currently in the game, I would probably not stick around. So there's a lot more to this problem. And I think that there's a game here that is still worth promoting, that is still worth salvaging. Of course, because I'm still making content for it, I still find Rogue Company fun. I still find it fun personally. I know that there's a lot of people that are kind of getting bored with it and all this kind of stuff. And that makes sense. Whenever you get on for 2 years straight and you play Rogue Company almost exclusively for 2 years straight, then yeah, inevitably you're going to get burnt out on it. And then with the amount of issues that come up, update after update after update, with the amount of server issues that have always existed in the game, with the amount of matchmaking problems that we have, then yeah, it's easy to get burnt out on something like that. That's why it's good that if you have a main game, you need to look at other options as a secondary game, whether it be a single player experience or something a little bit more laid back like Minecraft, something like that, or whether it be another shooter. You have to have something else in that rotation to break up the monotony that comes from specific games. That's just how it is. So I get why people are getting burnt out on the game, why they feel like the game is getting stale. I understand that. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I think that Rogue Company, as the company, First Watch Games, needs to come in and they really need to make some massive changes to the game in order to get it to where it needs to be to even be able to promote it. And I don't think that the RCCS has anything to do with that whatsoever. I think that if this person that wrote this tweet really wanted the RCCS to succeed and want to continue with it, then they would have done it regardless of the support of the company or not. That's how they started, and that's where they could have ended right back up. That's just how it is. And if you think creatively and think outside the box a little bit, you don't have to have First Watch Games and Hi-Res support your tournament. You can find sponsorships and you can find money from other places to be able to give some very decently priced tournaments. I mean, they did 10K tournaments like all of last year, and that had nothing to do with the RCCS and had nothing to do with Hi-Res. The RCCS and Hi-Res's involvement with the competitive scene came in and left just as quickly. I mean, and you can't blame them because when you're dropping $20,000 on a tournament and you average 400 viewers, there's something wrong there. But be sure to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think that competitive could save Rogue Company? Do you think if they brought back the RCCS, it would just magically make the viewership on Twitch just explode and we would get a gigantic influx of new players? Or do you think that this tweet was just very self-centered and very egotistical? Be sure to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Also, be sure to check that description for links to Facebook, Discord, and Twitter. Those are the places to contact me. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. If you've already subscribed to the channel, then consider hitting that join button to become one of the 256 crew members. Also, there is a link in the description for the current giveaway, so please be sure to check that out. And lastly, on Thursdays from 8 until 11 p.m. Central Time, Sundays from 10 a.m. until we get tired, I will be streaming here on YouTube. So if you're interested and available, please feel free to stop by, say hello there. Thanks for watching, guys.
Nervous, aren't you?
Bomb's been detonated. Don't let it happen again.
All right, we're not going to flank this time, right?
No, sir.
This is it. It's all or nothing.
No, sir's goddamn right.
He just goes, no, sir.
Go through A or the middle here.
I'm going to go through mid.
Nervous, aren't you?
Yeah.
C4.
Bomb's active. Find it.
He's about to shut it down. You fucking pussy.
Oh, what a fucking bait.
Nervous, aren't you?
His ass is hurt.
Wow, body!
He's one shot. He's in the back.
I'm so sorry I tried to get out of there.
I'm defusing the bomb.
Yeah, he's on him. Hey, dude's watching him. Go ahead. Yeah, yeah. Here he comes.
Pushing,
Leg
pushing.
blocking. Leg blocking.
GG, man. GG.
That team was a joke, a waste of time.
Systems back online.
Suck it when I got up.
I'm going to clip that audio out. Are we going to flank this time? No, sir.
Because all it was, no, sir.
Felt good. Fuck those guys.
Just in time to give him the suck it, and I did.